meters. Lump sum for finishing hardware. Aluminum glass windows sliding type is 2.88 square meters and 3.24 square meters for awning type. For frames, jambs, seal head, transoms, and boyos, 6 sets. For doors, glass type is 11.34 square meters. PVC doors and frames is 5 sets. For ceiling, made up of 4.5 mm fiber cement board metal frame with 90 square meters. Glazed tiles and trims is 44.10 square meters. Under metal structure accessories, turnbuckle is 48. Lump sum for the structural steel, septic vault, tank made of concrete CSB, and plumbing works. Lump sum also for the electrical, which include item 1100, 10 for conduits, boxes, fittings, conduit works, and conduit draft in. For 110133 wires and wiring devices. For 11021 panel board with main and branch breakers, and for lighting fixtures under item 1101 lighting fixtures. For unglazed tiles, we have 87.15 square meters. For cement plaster finish, 981.77 square meters. Reflected insulation is 141 square meters. For painting works, masonry concrete, we have 546.13 square meters. For steel, we have 452.16 square meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, under 10141B2 item is 799 square meters. For structural steel, trusses is 8,724.64 kilograms. For purlins, 5,342.40 kilograms. For metal structure accessories, bolts and rods is 44.93 kilograms. Steel plates, 316.43. Cruise bracing is 239.79. For the project's bid security form, bid security declaration is acceptable, or if it is in cash, cashier, manager's check, bank draft, guarantee, or revocable letter of credit, the amount should not be less than 2% of the ABC. And if the surety bond, is used as the bid security form, the amount should not be less than 5% of the ABC. For the next contract, 26NA0007 re-advertised. A title is Construction of Multipurpose Building, Barangay Hall, at Barangay Tolosa, City of Cabadbaran, Agusan del Norte, with coordinates 9.119593, 125.524805. The approved budget for the contract is 7,120,000 pesos. 7,120,000 pesos. The duration of the contract is 180 calendar days. Applicable bidding payment is 10,000 pesos. Source of funds is 2026. It's God. For the major categories of work is BICWO PLC, and the similar categories of works similar to items mentioned with the previous two contract IDs. For the required pickup license for this contract is small b for a size range and license category of CNB. So no larger single project may be required. Allowable range of contract cost is 30 million. For the key personnel requirements, project manager, coordinated with the DPWH or project engineer, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and a DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the minimum major equipment required for this contract, plate compactor, 5 horsepower, 1 unit, 1 bagger mixer is 4.6 cubic foot per minute, 1 unit, bar cutter and bar bender, 1 unit each, welding machine, electric driven, DC output is 500 amperes, cutting outfit 1 unit, backhoe is the 23.80 cubic meter, 1.05 cubic yard. For dump truck, all models, capacity 12 cubic yard, 2 units. Truck mounted crane, standard lattice 2 models, 21 to 25 megatons. For the bill of quantities, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis good for 6 months. For other general requirements, permits and clearances, lump sum, detailed engineering and architectural design, lump sum, project billboard, signboard, 2 each, occupational safety and health, lump sum, mobilization and demobilization, lump sum. For the earthworks, removal of structures and obstruction, lump sum, structural excavation, common soil, 147.57 cubic meters. Embankment from barrow, common soil is 147 to 83 cubic meters. Gravel field is 21.27 cubic meters. Under plain and reinforced concrete works, structural concrete PSI is 56.25 cubic meters. Structural concrete class A is 34.06 cubic meters. Reinforcing steel deformed weight 40 is 9,939.09 kilograms. Under formworks and false works is 293.02 square meters. For finishing works, CSB 100 mm thick load non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel, is 482.11 square meters. Lump sum for the finishing hardware, aluminum frame glass door swing is 10.50 square meters. Aluminum glass window sliding type 18 square meters, and aluminum glass windows owning type is 6.12 square meters. With aluminum glass window fixed type is 1.94 square meters. For frames, jumps, seal head, transoms and mullions is 10 sets. And for door, wood panel is 18.90 square meters. For PVC doors and frames, 3 sets. Ceiling, medium of 4.5 mm, fiber cement board metal with metal frame is 252.70 square meters. For glazed tiles and trims, 37.89 square meters. For unglazed tiles, 256.77 square meters. For cement plaster finish is 1,125.07 square meters. For reflective insulation, 181.05 square meters. Painting works for masonry concrete is 1,220.26 square meters and 163.31 square meters for steel. For fabricated metal roofing accessory, that's for flashing, gauge 26 is 8.50 linear meters. For gutters, gauge 24 is 57.80 linear meters. Pre-painted nickel sheets, a rib type long span, about 0.4 to 7 millimeters is 181.05 square meters. Metal accessories, lump sum, for bolts and rods, 50.54 kilograms. For sub-rods, 55.50 kilograms. For steel plates, 127.17 kilograms. Structural steel truss is 3,849.65 kilograms. For structural steel, purlins, 792.87 kilograms. For cuts basin, CSB, 4 each. For sewer line works, lump sum. So with the storm drainage and downspout, septic vault tank, complete CSB, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, all lump sum. For electrical, we have conduits, boxes, and fittings. Rough in is lump sum. Wires and wiring devices, lump sum. Panel board with main and branch breakers, one lump sum. Pole mounted distribution transformer with complete accessories, pole type, lump sum, and lighting fixtures, lump sum. For this contract, bid security form can be a bid security declaration or the amount of not less than 158,400 if bid security is in cash, cashier's manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or revocable letter of credit. The amount of not less than 5% of the ABC or 396,000 if bid security is in surety bond. For the last contract, item contract 26NA0019 with a title Construction of Multi-Purpose Building Covered Court, Pupotsan Elementary School, 131488 at Barangay, Taod-oy, Magallanes, Agusan del Norte, with an approved budget for the project at the amount of 4,950,000. The duration is 20 calendar days, bidding fees 5,000, and a source of funds is GAP 2026. For the major categories of work, similar to the previous 3 contracts, the BICW PLC as the major category of work, and similar categories of works mentioned earlier. For the required pickup license for this contract, a size range of small b, license category of CNB, largest single project is dispensed for this contract. Global range of contract should not exceed 30 million. For the key personnel requirement, must meet the following: project manager, 2 years for same position, so with the project engineer, a DPWH accredited, construction foreman, safety officer, first aider, and materials engineer. For the minimum major equipment required for this contract, the equipment include plate compactor, 5 horsepower, 1 unit, 1 rubber mixer, 1 unit, bar cutter and bar bender, 1 unit, 2 units of 500 amperes welding machine, electric driven DC output, cutting outfit, 1 unit, backhoe is the 23 with a capacity of 0.80 cubic meter, 1.05 cubic yard. Dump truck, all models, 2 units with a capacity of 12 cubic yard. Truck mounted crane, standard lattice boom, 1 unit of 21 to 25 gigatons. For the bill of quantities, provision of field office for the engineer is 3 months. Permits and clearances, lump sum. Detail engineering and architectural design, lump sum. Project billboard, signboard to each. Occupational safety and health, lump sum. Mobilization and demobilization, lump sum. Under earthworks, structural excavation. Structural excavation, common soil is 180.13 cubic meters. For embankment, from roadway structure excavation, common soil is 151.43 cubic meters. For a gravel field is 8.93 cubic meters. For reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, 4,000 psi, is 35 to 32 cubic meters. Structural concrete, class A, 28 days is 41.46 cubic meters. For reinforcing steel, deformed of grade 40 is 7,780.80 kilograms. For formworks and false works, 20.41 square meters. For finishing and other civil works, we have CSB, non-load bearing 108 feet, including reinforcing steel, is 752.40 square meters. Lump sum for PVC doors and frames, 930.72 square meters for cement plaster finish. For painting works, for steel, is 452.35 square meters. For pre-painted metal sheets, ring type long span, is 392.04 square meters. For metal structural accessories, for B turnbuckle is 16 each, 5A. For bolts and rods is 29.64 kilograms. For 5B, sub rods is 85.10 kilograms. For 5C, cross bracing 134.91 kilograms. For 5D, steel plates 296.70 kilograms. Under structural steel, trusses is 7,158.12 kilograms. For purlins, 2,410.56 kilograms. For sewer line works, lump sum, septic vault of complete CSB, lump sum, cold water lines, lump sum, plumbing fixtures, lump sum. For electrical, conduits, boxes, and fittings, conduit rough-in is lump sum, wires and wiring devices, lump sum, panel board with main and branch breakers, lump sum, lighting fixtures of lump sum. For this contract, steel bid security form is acceptable for the amount of not less than 2% of the ABC or 99,000 if bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft guarantee or a revocable letter of credit, or the amount of not less than 5% of the ABC or equivalent to 247,500 if bid securities in surety bond, all in pesos. For the four contracts, the two envelope system applies. Where envelope A contains the technical requirements to include the legal documents. These legal documents should be validated and updated in the DPWH, CWA, and in the field JEPs, such as business registration, mayor's permit, income tax return, tax clearance, field JEPs. The PICAB license updated, NFCC should be updated, key personal requirements, minimum equipment, the list of minimum equipment including the proof of ownership or its access to the equipment. To include is list of all completed projects including private, as well as list of all ongoing, awarded but not yet started projects including private, because this will be validated during the post qualifications to ascertain the accurate amount of NFCC. Additional requirement is the latest general information sheets reflecting the beneficial ownership information or BOI duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the sworn affidavit of eligibility, including sole proprietorship. For envelope B, the second envelope contains financial requirements, including bid form, detailed estimates, cash flow by quarters, and other documentary requirements such as utility pledge, and the most important, the omnibus sworn statement. For the deadline of dropping of bids, it will be on for the deadline of dropping of bids is scheduled prior to the prospective bidder should make sure to have secure the order of payment at the office of the procurement not later than 9 a.m. on the same day, March 24, 2026. The box closes at 10 a.m. Opening of bids follow immediately after the deadline of dropping of bids and upon availability of the result of the eligibility at the CWA. Requiring all prospect bidders to ensure that the envelopes are properly labeled, containing the accurate title of the contract and the address of this entity, DPWH Agusan del Norte, District Engineering Office, at J. Rosales Avenue, Butuan City. That will be all, Mr. Chair.
Any clarification, question about these projects? If there is none, this private conference is adjourned at exactly 10:50 in the morning. Thank you.
That concludes our private conference for the 4 contracts. We advertised of release in A0004, 0005, release in A0007, and release in A0019. Good morning.